He'll reset. Nowitzki again for the lead. Bang!
What's up, Mavs fans? Welcome into All Things Mavs. I'm your host, Jimmy Crowther, and I am back. Yes, I took the weekend off because I figured, hey, if the Dallas Mavericks can decide to go ahead and take the weekend off, then so can I. But now I'm back for the Mavs versus Suns game tonight, February 1st on Monday night. I'll also have the post-game recap for you, no matter if the Mavs win or lose. Hopefully, it's not another loss for your Dallas Mavericks, but I'm going to talk it all through with you. Now, this is the first game of the season that the Mavericks will have 100% of their players available. Yes, that means the return of Maxi Kleber, who has continued to miss games due to COVID protocols. And honestly, his return cannot be more welcomed, and especially at a more opportune time, because a new month hopefully means a new focus for the Dallas Mavericks. And with Maxi back, you're getting your best three-point shooter, and I'm confident in saying your best defender at this point as well for the Dallas Mavericks. And before going down with COVID, Maxi was averaging 7.4 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.9 blocks, and 0.3 steals. Currently, he is leading the team in effective field goal percentage at 63%. Effective field goal percentage is basically like, okay, threes are worth more than twos, so what kind of shots are you taking? Long story short, it's a good thing. He's second on the team in free throw percentage at 93.8%. He's third in three-pointers made per game at 1.8. He's tied for third in rebounds per game at 5.3, and he's third on the team as well in blocks per game. Maxi coming back is huge for this team, but I do want to be fair to him in this Phoenix game and not put too many expectations on him, because obviously we saw with Josh Richardson, with Dorian Finney-Smith, and with Dwight Powell, there's a little bit of an adjustment period that needs to happen for these guys that have been honestly overcoming a respiratory problem and have been stuck in a hotel room for 20 days, especially with Maxi being the guy that apparently suffered the worst symptoms out of all of them. But you do get him back into the fold, and that's really, really important. Expectations for him in Phoenix are not that high, but I do expect him to have a big impact going forward. Now, for the rest of those guys, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dwight Powell, this is their fourth game back in action since having COVID, and I don't think there's any more excuses for them. You guys know, and a lot of you guys hate the fact that I make a lot of excuses for this team, and I've made a lot of excuses for those guys in their poor performance so far, but this is their fourth game back. They've got their legs under them. There are no more excuses to be made for those guys. You look at Josh Richardson. His first game in Utah was not very good. 6 points, 2 rebounds. He had a steal. Didn't make a three. 3 of 7 from the field. He was minus 11 in the box score, but to be fair, basically everyone was a negative in the box score there. Then the second game in Utah, pretty similar story. 6 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, a steal. He had 4 fouls. He was minus 14, 0 of 3 from 3. Now, last game against Phoenix, I think he started to look a little bit more comfortable. He took more shots, just trying to get his legs underneath him. He had 9 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. He was a +3 in the box score. Went 4 of 11 from the field, which isn't great, but hey, I'm just glad that he was taking his shots. Now, the guy that I've been the most impressed with of that little bunch is Dorian Finney-Smith. Finney-Smith had a game where he put up 3 points in his first game back, but then that second game against Utah, 11 points. He was 3 of 8 from 3. And then that last game against Phoenix, he was pretty solid as well. 9 points, 5 boards, an assist, a steal, 2 of 4 from 3. His three-point shot is continuing to come back around. It wasn't very good before he had COVID, but since he's had it now, honestly, it looks even better. So I'm excited for Dorian Finney-Smith. I think he's still going to have a huge impact on this team, and especially against a team in Phoenix that has some really good wings. And then you look at Dwight Powell. And look, obviously we've all had our fair share of frustrations with Dwight Powell. A lot of us have clamored for Willie Cauley-Stein to start over Dwight Powell, but honestly, he's been really good since he's been back. His first game against Utah, he barely played. He played 13 minutes, but he was a +10 in the box score, didn't score, at 3 boards. And then the second game against Utah, 6 points, 5 rebounds, probably one of his better rebounding nights. And then the other night against Phoenix, he honestly, I think, made a pretty good impact at 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. He kind of looked bad down the stretch, and he had his moments, of course, as he always does. But honestly, I was pretty happy with Dwight Powell, and I'm just glad that he is honestly back in the mix, because Mavs need the depth at this point. Now for Phoenix, Devin Booker, as of right now, is still questionable. No update to his status, but no matter if he comes back or not, it's still a tough matchup. The Mavs already lost one without Devin Booker, but also Porzingis wasn't playing for the Mavs, and he will return in this game. But here's the thing. I don't want to focus too much on this game in particular for the Mavs, because this is the start of a new week and a new month, and hopefully turning a new page for the Dallas Mavericks, because this week they have a really good chance to get back to 500. Tonight against the Phoenix Suns with Kristaps Porzingis back, I think this is a must-win game. I'll talk more about that here in just a minute. And then they play Wednesday night at Atlanta. Atlanta hasn't been very good. That's a team that the Mavs should beat. And then 2 games against Golden State. So by Sunday, the Mavs could very well be back to 500. And I'll say it right now. If the Mavs don't go at least 3-1 in this week, I don't think this team is getting better than the 7th seed in the Western Conference. And I think the 7th seed might be generous. I would lean closer to an 8th seed for the Dallas Mavericks at that point. And here's the thing about this game in particular. Good teams, playoff teams, and I still believe this is a playoff team, even though they've been bad, they don't lose more than 5 games in a row. In fact, most playoff teams don't even lose 5 games in a row. I took a look back at the losing streaks, the worst losing streaks in the league this year. And there are only 2 streaks worse than the Mavs' 5-game current losing streak. Minnesota had a 7-game losing streak after winning its first 2 games of the season. Nobody expects Minnesota to be a playoff team, so that shouldn't be a huge surprise. Orlando had a 6-game losing streak that they recently snapped, and honestly, with all the injuries to Orlando, they have 10 times the excuses that Dallas has. They're also probably not a playoff team, but also it's the East, so it might be a little bit more easy. And then 4 other teams have had 5-game losing streaks. The Wizards lost 5 in a row. They just snapped that streak. Miami had a 5-game losing streak. They just snapped that streak. New Orleans and the Knicks, all 5-game losing streaks. And of that bunch, you look at New Orleans, you look at Washington, you look at Miami, and you look at the Knicks. I would say probably 2 of those 4 are playoff teams. So it's not impossible to think. I mean, the Miami Heat, for crying out loud, just went to the NBA Finals. But if Dallas lets it get to 6, and if they lose tonight to the Suns, it's time to hit panic mode. It's time to wake up. You guys know I'm not a panicky Mavs fan. You guys know I'm probably over-optimistic. A lot of y'all in the comments hate that about me. Some of you guys like it. Some of you guys hate it. I'm overly optimistic about this team. But if they lose tonight against Phoenix, if they don't show a little heart and find a way to grit out a win, you got to start making trades. It has to happen. Personnel has to be changed. Maybe it's taking a closer look at Rick Carlisle, who I will admit now, I've always been on the Rick Carlisle train. I still am. I still don't think he's going anywhere. But if you look at his decision-making in the clutch, Rick has been bad. It's just plain and simple. In the clutch, Rick has been a bad decision-maker. But also, this team just hasn't been very good around him, not making shots, not doing what they need to do defensively. Look, I need a lot more from this team as a whole. That's obvious. But the one guy that needs to step up the most tonight against Phoenix is Kristaps Porzingis. He didn't play in the last game against Phoenix, which luckily I wasn't there for because I would have been livid. I wouldn't have been able to. I still don't understand why they sat him, but they did. I know it was the second night of a back-to-back, but I don't care. I've always preached patience with Kristaps Porzingis. But if I don't see him look more aggressive on both sides of the ball, not just offensively, I need aggression on the defensive side as well. The Mavs are going to have to start looking at trading him. They're just going to have to do it. You guys know in my overreaction video, I said, no, they're not going to trade him. We need to be patient. And I still believe there is a level of patience to be had with Porzingis. But in terms of being effective and the most effective team you can be right now, if Porzingis doesn't come out of the gates hot against Phoenix, if he doesn't put up at least 18 points in this game and look like a defensive rim protector, you have to start listening to trade options for him. It has to happen. And February is a perfect chance because the schedule gets a lot easier. Now, look, this team still isn't 100%. I mean, yes, they are 100% healthy. Everyone is back, but Maxi isn't 100%. So to expect them to be 100% against Phoenix, that's not the case. But there are no more excuses for this team. They have run out of them. It is time to step up. And if you can't turn the page in this first week of February, this team's going to miss the playoffs. That's just the cold, hard truth. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be the one that says they're going to miss the playoffs. But if things keep trending the way they are in February in this first week, if they don't set the tone early, I'm sorry, guys, it's game over. Or big trades need to happen. So for this game tonight, I'm going to predict a win because I think the sense of urgency is going to kick in for this Mavericks team. I think everyone not named Luka Doncic is going to step up and show what they can actually do for this team and show that they can actually contribute because I believe this team is better than it has played through its first, 21 games of the season. It's still early, but time is running out. And if it doesn't happen in February, it ain't going to happen. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you come back for the post-game podcast, the post-game video where I'll be back inside because it's a little too cold out here for me when the sun starts to go down, but at least it's nice out. I had to take advantage of it. So appreciate all y'all that are watching. Thanks for coming back, even though I wasn't here this weekend. Give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe as well. And also got to announce the giveaway winners because I just recently hit 3,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. And I'll give away stuff every 1,000 subscribers. So next giveaway at 4,000, I'll have something else to give away. So I gave something away for that. The winner of that one is Big Time B-Ball. So if you are Big Time B-Ball, hit me up in the comment section. Find me on Instagram or on Twitter. You guys know where to find me. And make sure you just say, hey, I'm Big Time B-Ball on YouTube. I won the contest. I'll get it to you, and I'll do the whole verification thing as well. But also I did a giveaway on my live stream, and if you sent me a super chat, however much money you sent in that super chat, you were entered to win in a raffle. So the winner of that one is Tony Sarmiento. Tony sent a $5 super chat on Friday afternoon. He is winning a All Things Mavs t-shirt. So Tony, thank you for the super chat. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll get that shirt to you. Thank you guys for watching. As always, go Mavs, baby.